Hello, it's Burgess Taylor, and it is week 8's check-in of The Artist's Way. So let's get started. Week 8 was about recovering a sense of strength. This week, I don't know. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be based on the title, but then based on the teaser, I thought it was going to be about time, managing your time. Thought it was going to be about, it said artistic survival. So I'm thinking how to get through the blocks or how to get through something. But she talks about the mourning process in here. I understood that. How she likened it, the reference that she used, I thought that was a bit much. She talked about like women and if you've been through miscarriage or that was, I'm just not going to go there. I have been through different kinds of loss. The grieving process is rough no matter what it is, but I think being turned down and rejected for a novel or for artwork or something like that, as devastating as it can be, getting those rejection slips, I don't think it is comparable to a miscarriage. So I'm going to go past that part. There was also another thing that I didn't really agree with, but so time being a creative block says that how we relate time has more to do with our age and our experience. That's how we relate to time, but we use our age as an excuse to not to try to do something like, oh, I'm too old to do that, or well, I'll wait until retirement to do that. And those are just excuses. That we need to stop using excuses to keep ourselves from pursuing our dreams. We need to stop the excuses. She says that taking action, and that's has to do with stop making excuses. You do one step today, one step tomorrow, one step the day after that, and before you know it, you've taken all these little steps towards reaching your goal. People who have depression, anxiety, things like that, that's what we use a lot, is that method. It's one day at a time, one page at a time, one minute thing at a time. For me, on a really bad day, getting up out of the bed is hard. Getting out of my pajamas and getting dressed is hard. Getting my teeth brushed and washing my face, taking a shower, that kind of thing. Those are all milestones. And with each one of those little milestones, I feel like I've accomplished something. It makes me feel better. Now, there are some days, like Friday morning, I woke up late. It wasn't the morning when I woke up, it was midday, and I had slept. I had a really rough time sleeping Thursday night. We're having rain this weekend. Today's Sunday, and it rained Saturday. It rained a little bit Friday evening. It rained Saturday, and it's rained today. It's cloudy today. It's cloudy yesterday. And I am a weather vane. The moment that there is going to be rain, my shoulders and my neck start killing me, which means I don't sleep well. I have what I call rough sleep, where I'm on again, off again, up, awake, moving around, trying to get comfortable, and I have a really hard time sleeping steady. So on those nights, I don't get a lot of sleep, and it's definitely not consecutive sleep where you know until in the when I find when my body is completely and utterly exhausted, and then I'll get some sleep. So I slept in Friday morning. I had a ton of things to do, one of which was to pick my grandson up from daycare, take my son to work. My son ended up not going to work. He had severe allergies on Friday going around. We have pollen over which is why you see dark circles under my eyes. It's been like this for a few days for me. One, I haven't been getting very good sleep. Two, my allergies are killing me. But anyway, that has nothing to do with this. So making excuses and getting past things, because I definitely like that concept of one page at a time, one day at a time, one step at a time. She also talks about how art is the act of structuring time, and that every ending is a beginning. And she says that pain that is not used profitably quickly solidifies into a leaden heart, which makes any action difficult. That the more we put off doing things when we're going through the grieving process, the harder it is going to be to get back into it. And I agree with that. There are these different stages of grief, and if you've ever gone through any of the stages of grief, know that anger is one of them. And a lot of people find that it's easier to do things when you're in the anger stage of grief, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's better, it just means it's easier. That she says creativity occurs in the moment, and in the moment we are timeless. I agree with that. She also says that there's a hair, a piece of fuzz. Okay, this is the part that kind of just left me, the very beginning of this sentence, before the comma. The latter part of the sentence doesn't bother me. I actually agree with it. Creative people are dramatic, comma, and we use negative drama to scare ourselves out of our creativity with this notion of wholesale and often destructive change. I don't think all creative people are dramatic any more than I think all people who've manic depression are creative, or any more than I think all writers are depressed, or any more than I think all writers use alcohol that we write drunk and edit sober. Anyway, I disagree with stereotyping, generalizing people into one big group. I do. Bother me. That really bother me. She says criticism, creative losses, that grieving and moving forward instead of making excuses that you create, or else it becomes more stagnant. You end up more blocked. It takes longer for you to get out of that creative slump. And that's true. For me, I have depression, anxiety, and ADHD, and the longer I procrastinate and the more I dwell in the depression and anxiety and I don't try to do something to stop it, like doing those one little things at a time. One little thing. Like my big goal for that morning when I first get up is to get up out of bed. My next big goal is to go brush my teeth and wash my face. My next big goal is to take a shower. My next big goal will be to make coffee, or to make coffee before I get in the shower so that when I get out of the shower, I have something to look forward to, which is my coffee. Anybody who's got depression will tell you that some days getting out of the bed is a major feat. It's a major accomplishment. That you use that as a strength. You remind yourself that creating things is something that makes you happy. And like when I first get out of bed and I'm having a bad day, my coffee is one thing that makes me happy. Taking a shower makes me happy. It's just the getting motivated to get in there. So to remind myself that I actually enjoy taking a shower and that it feels good and I'll feel better once I get out of the shower. Those are the little milestones that seem like they're little itsy bitsy milestones, but whenever you are creatively blocked or whenever you are depressed or whatever, some of these little things are actually big things. And then once you do them, then it can lead you to more little things, which will lead you to the bigger things. Now, one of the other things I wanted to cover is that she says product versus process. Then we enjoy the actual process. And then there are people who are actually more of the end product, the end result. I am a process person. I enjoy the journey. I enjoy all of this. And I'm now, like the editing part, I'm actually going to enjoy it, but in a completely different way. But she says it's really that the process, the actual journey, that is what is important and valuable, that creativity is in the doing, not the done, not what you've done, but in the actual act of doing. Most of these weeks I've learned something from. This week it was a synchronicity that actually I learned more from than I happened to be reading a blog post by Colleen Hoover about criticism about some of her readers have been criticizing her because she has not been responding to their messages, to their emails, things like that. When she first started out, she said she didn't know anything about anything. She didn't know what she was doing. She had written a novel. All she had was a novel. She started doing research about how to publish it and stuff like that, how to edit it, publish it, get it up there, got it up there. And then before she knew it, seemed like people started responding to her. They would send her emails, they would send her messages. She responded to every single one personally. She even sent some people signed books. She was very good about doing all of that. And then as she grew and she got bigger and bigger, more popular, she had more people sending her messages and emails and all these things. Well, now she said she used to, for a long while, she was responding to all of them personally. But she was finding that 6 and 8 hours worth of responding to emails and messages and things like that, she wasn't getting her books written. When you are taking 6 to 8 hours to respond to messages, to emails, to things like that, that's most of your workday right there. So she said that she would rather only respond to some personally than to have an assistant who responded to them for her, because that wouldn't be her responding. She said if you really wanted to get in touch with her, send her snail mail. She's much more likely to open snail mail. And I was just like, yes, I understood. But she was talking about the criticism and how it hurt her, and that knew she had to move past that as an author. And one of the things I really like about authors like that is that they care. They genuinely care about what their readers think. Stephen King writes messages to his readers. He calls it his constant readers. Sometimes they'll be in the front of the book. Sometimes they'll be in the back of the book. Sometimes it's not in every single book, but a lot of times it is. And I love those. I love reading those because I feel like he wrote that letter specifically to me as his reader. I am a constant reader and he wrote it to me. I understand what Colleen Hoover said. I would rather have a personal message from her, an email or a message, or write her a letter and have her respond back to me and actually be her rather than her assistant. I mean, if I'm writing to her and her assistant is the one who is sending me the message back, that's not from Colleen Hoover, that's from her assistant. So when I'm reading that blog post, though, I was thinking about what she was saying about the criticism and about the reviews, and how when she was first starting, she printed out every single review. Every single review, she printed them out, and she went back through her books so that she could learn and do better and grow and to figure out things that were wrong and what she'd done wrong and things like that. That is taking even the most negative of criticisms and using it as a positive, learning from it, growing from it, becoming better because of it. That's what I want to do. I don't want to let the criticism and the negativity make me quit or make me have even more self-doubt than I already do. I don't want to do that. So I think what I'm going to do from now on is I'm just going to write things down. I'm going to have a little page and I'll write things down, and I can put like a positive thing or a negative thing beside it, so that I can either look back on what I'm doing wrong and change things, or decide, okay, well, you're entitled to your own opinion. We're going to agree to disagree and let it go. Like with the thumbs down thing on YouTube. I don't have a problem with thumbs down. If you don't like the video for some reason and you want to hit a thumbs down, fine, but tell me why so that I can improve the video. A lot of my videos in the very beginning were vlog. I didn't edit them. There are a lot of ums, there's a lot of pausing, there's a lot of hesitation. Sometimes the lighting's really shitty. But I'm not taking them down, and I'm not going to go back through and edit them because I was learning. It's a learning process. My videos are still not professional quality. I've seen videos that are just friggin' amazing and awesome, and I wish I were talented enough to make them look that way. But I'm still learning. When I was growing up, we didn't have computers. I'm in my 40s. I will be 49 in July. There was no word processor. There was no computer. There was no Scrivener. No Microsoft Word. You did it all on a typewriter. Now, I've been using computers now for 20-something years for work and different things like that, but some of this new stuff like videos and HD and things like that, I'm new. So I'm learning, and I have a very big learning curve because some of you guys are learning it, or you learned it in school. I did not. We of different generations, and I don't want to sound, but we're learning things the hard way. You guys are learning it a little bit easier because you're being taught stuff in school that we had no clue about. We don't even, a lot of us don't even know what some of the stuff is. I'm learning. It's a learning process, and I'm okay with that. And if you don't really want to watch videos, then don't watch my videos if you don't want to watch them. If you don't like the pauses and the hums, because sometimes they're still in there. Sometimes I'm not able to edit out every single or huh or But I figured, if you're going to give me a thumbs down, then you could at least tell me why. If you're going to criticize something, tell somebody why so that they can improve on it. I mean, unless you're just going through random videos and hitting thumbs down, and then you're just a jerk, douchebag. So, or as like in Supernatural, you're just an asshat. So that's what I wanted to cover for this part. There's an affirmation on page 146, I think. You should read. That affirmation resonated with me more than pretty much anything in the whole chapter for this week. Other than one page at a time, one day at a time, one thing at a time. Week 8, I did my morning pages all but one day, and then on Friday, like I said, I got a page. I think there was another day where I only wrote 2 pages. My artist date was with my grandson. Hopefully this week will be better. This is recovering a sense of compassion for week 9, so hopefully this week will be better. I thank you for watching. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you again soon. I'm going back to preparations for Camp NaNoWriMo and doing some art journaling and learning how to use the cameras, because this is the new vlogging camera, and this is the new camera for doing the journal flip throughs and stuff like that, and for my actual like probably picture taking. This takes excellent pictures. It really does. It takes great pictures, and I like that. I mean, the only thing about this, and if it would have become my vlogging camera if it would go up all the way up like this one will. If it would do this, I would not have needed another camera. I now have 4 cameras. I have the Intex camera, the little instant, the one that takes instant photos, my Canon PowerShot, and I love this Canon. It takes awesome pictures, takes good video, but not quite as well as this one. This one is actually 16 megapixels, so I'm moving up in the world. This one and the Canon take the same, but it has this. And I bought new, used, refurbished, or at a super discounted rate. I'm not buying anything at regular price because I simply cannot afford that, which is why I don't have a Canon 5.7 or Canon X, 5X or whatever that is, 50X, the new Canon. That's what I really want, but it's like a $600 camera. We were supposed to talk about different things. I think I've covered everything that I could possibly cover. I'm going to finish my coffee and do some journaling, and then I'm going to cut my son's hair and go to the grocery store because we're going to have shepherd's pie for dinner tonight. And I thank you for watching. Bye.